I'm going for a high risk long on Bitcoin here, and I want to explain what I'm thinking of right now because this is going to be a high risk play, but I think there could be some potential as we move into this Monday, okay? So right now, as we look at the daily charts, normally if you saw this, you would say, Michael, you're not normally going to be buying Bitcoin at this point because we have a red MACD, a red stochastic, and a red RSI. And on top of that, what we're seeing is just a little bit of resistance here from a small downtrend. I understand that. I'm still going to be taking this long for a few other reasons. Primarily, we finally have a good golden cross here on the daily chart between the 50-day moving average and the 200. And then we've already had the golden cross here between the 20 and the 200. Usually, it's the 50 and the 200 and the 20 and the 50 that make more sense to me. I don't usually care too much about the 20 versus the 200 here. I am expecting something of a larger move coming up. Now, the main reason why I am allowing myself to do this, because typically this would be, a no-go for me, is because we have this weekly chart here, and this weekly chart still is primarily bullish because of those two MACDs right here, where you're seeing bullish week after week, momentum increasing. You have the stochastic going up as well, and the RSI doing fine, not getting too overbought, which is a great sign for us because, of course, if you look at this chart, look where all of that resistance is. It's basically about 68,700 up here till about 72,319, or pretty close to where we all-time highs are, right? So that's what we're dealing with right now. What I'm hoping for is that Bitcoin manages to break out above this smaller trend line, have a larger boom above the 69,320 level, and then start making a push sometime over the next week or so up here towards $71,500. This is a very high risk play, of course, because again, we really haven't had that big breakout. And if I were to zoom out, right, that's going to be a hefty thing to try to break out above. It's been here for a while, ever since we got rejected from June 6th. That's been a while ago. But even though we got today, guys, I know. Even though we got pushed back up here from the 69,490 level, we still are coming to attack it again, where usually we would have a pretty stiff drop, right, with the MACD, pretty stiff drop. We haven't had that stiff drop just yet, so this is where that trade comes from. Now, this is important. If you guys are taking this trade with me at 67,837, 835 right now, my stop loss is basically just going to be anywhere between 66,464 and around here at 65,650. Me making this more of an aggressive trade, this is a 2% stop loss. This is about a 3.5% stop loss, or 3.25% stop loss. For me right now, I think it's fine for me to have a stop loss right here at 65,017. This will be a 10x long play, so I'm going to be risking 30% of whatever money I put into the trade, all right? And then afterwards, if it decides to go up, of course, let's say it just goes up towards here, that's 2.5%. I'll be making 20%. My goal is to get us up here towards $71,000 pretty much, because it might wickedly get rejected horribly, which happens a lot. But that's about a 4 to 5% profit. So, I'm hoping for 50% profit. I'm okay if I lose 30%. Not the best ratios out there, but a goal of mine here, makes it even more of a difficult one, of course. If we do manage to break out here above 69,000, this other trend line, I'll move my stop loss up from here. I'll put it right here to where the opening price is, and I'll be opening this trade up at the end of this video. It'll be a smaller trade for sure. And then what we're going to be hoping for is that I can actually use this as a scale out point, where I scale out half of my position around 71,000, and then I just let the rest of it kind of run for a little bit. And if momentum really does stay strong, we can be looking at 76,000 over the next week or two. This is going to be much more of an aggressive trade. I understand that. But, I've been dollar cost averaging for the past few weeks. I told you guys I'm looking to buy some of those meme coins over the last few days. And look at some of these suckers are already bouncing back up after some crazy moves. Already having nice rebounds. Book of Meme, nice rebounds after this horrible day. We want to see some of those rebounds here, especially if they are still looking at some levels of resistance. Those pops are what we're going to be looking for. But again, this is going to be a very high risk type of Bitcoin play. And I'm going to be doing this on BYDFi. So what I'm just going to do here very fast is make sure that my leverage is in fact set to 10, because going really high can be crazy. BYDFi is 200%, which is a little bit too much for me. But let's go over here to about maybe a $500 position. Well, 10x leverage is going to be like a $5,000 trade, but $500 of my money involved. Let's go long here. And then what we're going to need to do is have a stop loss right down here on 65,580 and 65,580. There we go, mark, and then let's go long. There we go. Got the trade up. Just so you guys know, we do have other positions that are doing okay or bad right now. Reef right now, I know it's the first dollar cost average that we've done so far, but it's down 50%. Caddy is down 40%. Again, these are $5 positions. It's not like it's killing us so far, but I am going to have to continue dollar cost averaging into these. And then we got Big Time, which is up around 50% right now, which is also a nice little move to see. But we'll see how this turns out. So far, we're already up on our Bitcoin trade, and we'll see if we stay up. But yeah, hopefully you guys all keep an eye on this one. You guys don't have to take this trade because it is such an aggressive one here, and it may even go down before it goes up. But again, this is going to be a small $500 position. We'll see where it goes. I'm either going to lose a few $100 or, I mean, not even really, a small amount of that, or I can be making some good money. So we'll see. Thanks, everybody.